Hello everybody, and welcome to another The Rapple video. Today we're doing a Demeter guide, but first we're starting off with the Demeter build order. For those who don't know much about Greek, I'm just quickly gonna be showing you the build order and we jump right over the guide after we finish. So that's gonna take around 4 minutes. Let's go. So we're sending the 4 starting villagers over to food. Scout to watch around, looking for settlements and everything. The next 2 villagers from the town center will go over to gold. Let's drop a storehouse like that. And we're looking for pigs, gold mines, settlements. I already found 2 of my settlements. Looking whether they're worth grabbing at some point or not. Looks like quite helpless. No hunt around or gold mines. We'll scout better very soon. And after having 2 on gold, we're going to put 1 villager on a strangler tree. You could either put it here, or I'm just gonna put it next to the storehouse so we have no walking time. Let's grab those goats underneath the town center. And now the next 3 villagers from the town center will go over to food. Make sure you kill those wild animals right next to the granary, because that gives us 0 walking time. They gather 15 food and immediately drop it off there. So always make sure you kill those wild animals as close as possible to the granary. Very efficient. Go for some more scouting. If you have the APM, you can always use a goat to see your corner. And once you have 150 gold, we grab the 2 gold villagers, drop a temple, and one of them will shift back to gold mine. One of them will stay there and pray for a little while. Once we have 7 villagers on food, we are going to train 2 villagers on a wood line. We're about to build a storehouse. Make sure you bring your goats next to your temple, nearby your temple, because remember, as Demeter, one of the main bonuses is the herdables boost gather rate on temple. So we generate favor faster basically by doing that. And the very last villager from the town center will go over to gold before we click up. It's a nice fast advance, needing basically no house for now. And we age up through Pan. Very unique, one of the new gods, minor gods for Demeter. And we want to gather up to 17 favor. I'm going to tell you why. Because when we play Demeter, we are looking to build a second age hero, which costs 2 favor. And we are also looking to grab this upgrade here, Pan's Pioneers, which costs 100 gold and 15 favor. So 2 favor for the hero, 15 favor for this upgrade. And why do we need this upgrade? We need this upgrade here, Pan's Pioneers, because once we build a village center or a settlement, we get Lycaon out. If we build a village center, we get 1 free Lycaon out upon completion of the village center. But if it's a normal town center, we get 2 Lycaons out. So extremely helpful, very powerful, boosts your economy a lot early on. So make sure you at least have 17 favor total, so you can grab it whenever you're looking to build a town center. So we're edging up again through Pan. We build the Orpheus hero as fast as possible. And we no longer need that many villagers on food. So I'm gonna be building 1 house with 1 of them, and I'm gonna be switching 2 others around. I wanna have around 5 on wood and around 3 on gold. Now that I have 17 favor, I switch the favor villager over to gold. Because remember, we need 17 favor total. I'm gonna be scouting slightly more my opponent. And we keep 4 on food. Orpheus, you can either grab a relic or you can just stay nice in defense. and defensive with it. There is a build Orpheus can sometimes be used for aggressive playstyle. You can sometimes rush your temple against some sieves and get him out as fast as possible before you even click up to the classical, and you can send him over your opponent base, because in the current patch, Orpheus has full damage in the Archaic Age. So you can use it very early on to harass enemy villagers. Maybe not against Hades if there's sentinels, maybe not against Japanese because they have the Mikos to heal stuff and everything. But you might see yourself building this time to time, way earlier. So, alright. We're gonna be putting the Lycan from the temple over to gold, and we're training a couple of villagers to gold as well. We can use a villager from food to build another house, since we're using wood and gold. And put the goats near the temple, next to the temple, so whenever we put a villager there, we just generate favor faster. We're training villages on gold, as you can see, because we're looking to build a fast village center. And what's the reasoning for the village center? Well, the main bonus we talked about, the herdables just previously, near the temple, that's one. Town and village centers spawn herdables on age up. Works on village centers, quite helpful, delays the farm transition, quite good. You spawn herdables in your base with a village center. Buildings build faster when close to gold mines. This matters a lot, this one here. Building build faster when close to a gold mine, because when we're looking to build a village center, we're gonna be doing it near a gold mine. So this would be a perfect location for me to drop a village center, because on the right side I have the chickens, on the left side the gold mine, and on the top side the wood line. So 3 different food sources, or actually just 3 sources I can send villagers to. And what I'm also saying is that buildings build faster near gold mines, right? So if you're gonna drop a fortress over here to secure a gold mine, it's gonna be built way faster. If I wanna drop a village center here, it's gonna be built way faster because the gold mine is right next to it. So this is what I'm aiming for. I have my hero to defend. If scouting your opponent with your Kataskopos, if you see your opponent rushing you, building units as fast as possible, feel free to build your hero before you, the second edge hero, before you get your village center up. But we're now building villages on gold because the hero, the village center, and punch pioneers cost gold as well. So this is what I'm gonna be doing for now. Remember, we're playing a defensive god. You can slow down your opponent pretty much by casting this wither on a wood line. I'm gonna be looking for a wood line. And upgrade this, since we're looking to grab a town center. Upgrade before we start aging up. I mean, before we start building the village center. So I might be building a military barracks since I'm floating some wood. I'm gonna be force dropping those villagers, and I'm gonna be dropping the village center. Literally, check this out. 28 seconds to build the village center. It builds so fast, because first of all, we're using 7-8 villagers basically. And second of all, because it's built next to a gold mine, the boost, it's being boosted right now. I'd like to see a graphic where the developers add something, some light or some empowerment, so we know that these buildings are being boosted, but it's not the case. Anyways, we're gonna be separating those villagers on chickens and gold, and we're basically looking to now defend our bases. We get the Lycan for free upon completion, and we're all nice and happy about that. So now it's gonna come down to defending our base from any potential push and everything. So this was pretty much the build order for Demeter. Now we'll move over the guide. If you would like to see more guides like that, I run a website called therapple.pro, where I offer Age of Mythology courses for all levels, also discounted. What I've done is basically I've managed to fit most of my Age of Mythology knowledge in one page. So what you basically get, this is the beginner course from 0 up to 1400 ELO, where you get to learn the general counter system, human soldier counter system, quiz test at the end of every chapter for you to test what you've learned from the videos, every single unit explained in Age of Mythology and how to use it, army positioning and attack move, hotkeys, macro and micro in theory and in practice, scouting, decision making, and every single build order for all of those gods on land and on water. At the advanced course, for those who have actually practiced the game plenty of hours, this is from 1400 elo up to 2k elo, where what you basically get is to learn how to reach success at Age of Mythology, town center counter system, how do you react to a first second town center or to a third one, or what is your follow-up, test quiz at the very end of every chapter to see what you learn from the videos, winning condition for every single civilization, notes for you to take, and then analysis, pro-recorded game analysis, where I play against the best players of the world, the Mista, Recon, both. High-level analysis of tournament preparation games, games that haven't been shown mostly out there that you can now learn from me. And at the very end, you also get to learn how to draft if you're looking to play in a tournament. Just like Pandora's Box 2, signups have opened. If you're looking to participate for fun or for practice for a tournament, this is an opportunity for you. Go for. Thank you for your attention, and let's jump over the Demeter guide. Alright, welcome back. This is a high-level game from the ranked ladder. It's me in the blue color against Matador, who's also a very strong player, playing Demeter as well. Demeter overall, I would consider her to be the Freyer of the Greeks. What does that mean? That means that Demeter is about economy and defensive playstyle, awaiting your power spikes to arrive for you to start attacking. So, you can see him casting his Wither on top of my woodline, kinda slowing me down. It's okay, I'm just forced to use a Strangler tree. So, back to the theory. What I'm saying is that usually your power spikes hit in the mid game when you play Demeter around Heroic Age, because that's when your economy starts kicking off, your early advantages, the Lee Cannon and everything. On top of that, you get to have the best Greek archers in the game by upgrading the fated arrows. So that's one thing. What it basically does, it guides archers' arrows to ricochet to up to 3 nearby enemy units. So quite strong, especially if you play the standard Greek army composition, hoplite peltasts, you'll have a lot of success in the heroic age. So you can usually get Orpheus out quite fast, because this is a hero that has his full damage since Archaic Age. So if you would like, there is a build quite similar to the build order I am making, where you build your temple, but before you click up, you build your Orpheus and you send him to harass. I'm not doing it right now because it's a Demeter mirror, but you will see me doing that a lot on my YouTube videos. So, what I'm doing right now is I'm scouting and how I'm responding. Whenever you play Demeter, and not only Demeter, but generally on Age of Mythology, scouting in the early game, around 4 minutes, helps you so much looking at your opponent's base, so you see what they're up to. So if my opponent right now was looking to grab a fast second town center, I would be willing also to grab a fast second town center. But since my opponent is dropping up a stable, I know that he's capable of stopping my second town center, or if I cast my god power to defend it, my Arcadian Meadow, then I know my base is open for raiding. So I would much prefer to follow up and do what my opponent is doing right now, but I'm gonna do it better. But yeah, generally, there is a second option for you. You could have reacted with a different way. Let's say you wanted to train counter units. You can do that. That's mostly effective. You see the stable? You can drop a military barracks and you can train hoplites that counter cavalry. That's up to you. Definitely a play you can do. At this point, I know that Demeter heavily boosts village centers and everything. So I'm happy to train a couple of units to defend my base, coach up to the enemy cavalry, and then look to grab a town center or a village center once I have the opportunity. You can go slightly faster here. I've trained my second hero. Most of the times you will see yourself building Iolaus early. helps out defending your base because generally you need to defend your base when you play Demeter. It's kinda exposed, you know, and Wither will not help you really. Wither will not help you defending. It's not like Sentinels. This is just an economic god power. You can cast on an enemy woodline or on farms, things like that. Alright. So it's just both of us training a couple of units to defend what Matador's doing. Okay. And you will see me very soon getting those goats next to the temple because one of Demeter's main bonuses is this one. Herdables improve favor gather rate when near a temple. So if you have villagers generating favor and their herdables, you know, next to those villagers, next to the temple that you're praying to, you will be generating more favor. So this is amazing. You should always do that. You just need to see this light over here. You see this? This brightness on the goats. You see this light? It means they're boosting the favor gather rate. Also, to mention that the buildings build faster when close to a gold mine. So you will always see me building my temple near the gold mine because it's built way faster, right? Like mentioned in the build order previously. So also this helps out with village centers. So if I'm gonna drop a village center nearby this gold mine, you know, I have also the woodland helping me out, then the village center will be built quite a lot faster. Now, as for those bonuses, +1 villager can work on a farm, but anyone who has read the bonuses actually know that. And the village centers have additional HP increased per attack, per garrison villager. So it's like they designed this ship, they designed Demeter, the developers, and they're basically begging you to play with village centers. So what am I gonna be doing now? I'm gonna be defending my base for a while, you know, a couple of minutes, and I will be dropping my village center because Demeter is about economy, defense, village centers. So I'm gonna be trying to take full advantage of my, of my bonuses. So here's the thing. While I'm dropping the town center, you will see me doing this. First of all, I'm trying to apply some slight pressure because it looked like Matador wasn't training any units. I have slightly... Okay, now it's the military is equal. I slightly got caught off out of position, but I used my Wither, I got some value. I killed 1 or 2 Hippeos before I retreated. Like one down, second one down. And you see, we just traded some units and I'm now returning back to my base. No harm. We both survived. He's committing more, he's building more Hippeos, which is what I want. So, you see me now dropping my village center next to the gold mine, so it's boosted, it's built faster. You know, 20 seconds only, that's amazing. This amount of villagers. And I'm gonna be slightly delaying it because I want to upgrade this. So, before you get your village center or your town center up, always make sure you upgrade the pioneers first. You see, I was kinda slow on getting it, I'm pre-queuing it. I'm putting some villagers back. And I'm gonna wait for the upgrade to finish for me to continue the town center. Because we basically get 1 extra villager if it's a village center. It's called the Lycaon, right? Here it is. Lycaon, yes, the Lycaon. So we get 1 Lycaon every time we complete a village center, and if we complete a town center, we get 2 Lycaons. So now that I'm getting the upgrade, you see, it's researched. Now I'm finishing the village center and I'm getting a free Lycaon to help me out with my economy. There it is. I'm gonna be trying my best to hunt. You can throw a couple of walls to help yourself out. Starting with only 2 farms, knowing that I can have 4 villagers on those 2 farms. And here's what happens next. I'm gonna go just slightly faster. You see me responding with hoplites. Considering I have now switched into a defensive game, I better train hoplites. They cost less gold, they beat cavalry. So, this is what I am gonna be doing this is how I'm gonna be reacting. Have a hero out to help me out defending, and since I see cavalry, I'm happy once again to go for the hoplites. My opponent right now is also freely hunting, have fully walled himself in, so he's not expecting to get raided at all, and I'm happy with a defensive game, considering I already have a village center up. We will be using the village center to age up, because it trains villagers slower, so just age up from this village center, because the age ups are not nerfed from village centers, only training villagers. So yes, that's what I'm doing. If you see your opponent being way too aggressive, you can always upgrade your towers. I was kinda scared myself, upgraded my towers, and try to constantly scout and react. I just built myself a Pegasus because I wanna take a look to see what my opponent is doing. This is crucial. You need to know whether your opponent is booming, building units, or going to the next stage. And I know this is gonna be about gold mines. When you play Demeter, once you hit heroic, it's gonna be about gold mines. So you have to train counter units to what your opponent is building. I've seen the archery range. I know Matador would react with talk shows to counter my hoplites. So what I'm gonna be building is basically peltasts and hoplites. Peltasts to kill the talk shows, hoplites to kill the hippeus. And again, my goal is to just secure a gold mine. I know it's possible to do so because I have myself an Arcadian Meadow to cast an allocation and get my buildings up. And we both have curse, so it's not gonna matter much. He has curse, I have curse, so I'm happy to just exchange god powers with Matador. So, if this was not a Demeter mirror, you know this is where usually your power spikes start hitting. And securing a gold mine basically wins you the game if you're able to do that. Once again, gold mines boost nearby building construction. So you see how fast you can get a fortress up whenever you're trying to secure a gold mine. Matador was not nearly close to stop it, as you can see. Cast his curse, I'm casting my curse. And to protect my villagers, I'm happy to just cast my, there we go, my Arcadian Meadow. So these units can no longer attack my gold mine for the next 240 seconds. He cannot fight my fortress, it's beautifully placed, he cannot come from this side. He could only come here between, but then I would have the tower fire, I'd have the fortress fire. We're gonna be getting Icarus as soon as possible. Extremely useful unit, quite powerful, and only 2 population. And react to your opponent's army composition. I see cavalry, I'm doing hoplites. I see archers, I'm doing peltasts. So this is gonna be a peltast hoplite, casual Greek army composition. And you see I'm ahead by 15 villagers from having this village center out. So it is about you getting the units out. As long as you mine gold, you can always get those units out. Have always a market whenever you play defensively, because your resources around the map are limited. So always drop a market. And consider defending and building counter units. So you see, just by delaying Matador's push by 1 minute, literally 1 minute and a couple more seconds, I just caught up on the military value. I'm sitting at 3k, he's sitting at 3.5k. This is why playing such defensive Demeter can actually really pay off. So he's forced to take a fight in a position that is not advantageous for him because of the god power of cast. And I have the arrow, the watchtower arrows. I have the defender's advantage. My reinforcements join the battlefield straight away. And I have the counter units. Hoplite, peltasts, beat hippeus archers anytime, any day. This, yes. you don't see me having the Fatal Arrow upgrade, because I obviously aged up through Aphrodite, but you would usually see yourself playing this Hestia for this upgrade here. The only reason I went for Aphrodite is because I would likely lose half of my army to his push, and then I would lose the game with his curse. So I was forced to go curse here. It's one of the exceptions you go curse. Mostly Hestia, in my opinion, is better for Demeter, and will likely get buffed in the near future. So it's more abusable as a new minor god. So once you have defended the early harassment, once you have secured a gold mine with your nice village center booming, you can see villagers are sharing farms, 2 villagers on each farm, that's amazing for Demeter. Then you see yourself having the edge, and it's literally about practicing your hands so you get to have enough army out. You wanna be spamming those clicks, smashing that keyboard and turning units as fast as you can. You can pre-queue your Mythic Age behind that, but don't stop the army composition, because the game is not over yet. You are still required to secure a new gold mine. So you're gonna see me slowly moving over the next gold mine with a new fortress, because it's easy to run out of gold when you are on 2 town centers or when you have a village center. Villagers mine at very high gather rates, and the gold mines just expire, you know? So you gotta move out, sometimes before you even go mythic. Always upgrade your units, heavy and heavy, if you wanna take serious fights. Micro the peltast on top of the enemy archers, and you will be winning most fights. With all of that favor, I'm actually able to recast my curse. That could be any god power for you. That could be a second wither on enemy farms. That could literally be any god power you have. And being 25 villages ahead at this point, it just looks like a good situation for me. And once again, the next goal is to get yourself a second fortress. See, we are both just dropping a fortress here. I'm the first one to get it up from the looks of it. And I'm happy to take any fights, considering I've built counter units to what he is training. So always switch military composition. Make sure you're building what you're supposed to be building. And the fights will always go good for you. For those who are very beginners and don't know how the army composition works, select your enemy unit and click on info here on the eye and see what tags this unit has. What it says is cavalry. And what counters cavalry? Infantry, right? So you select one of your infantry, you see a multiplier of 1.25 against cavalry. So definitely you want to be training hoplites against cavalry, right? Whether that's raiding cavalry or camel riders from the Egyptians. And you see him training archers. You see talk shots here. Has the ranged soldiers tag. What counters ranged soldiers? Cavalry and peltasts. At this point, cavalry is too expensive and not pop efficient for the Greeks. So instead, just do peltasts. Very much pop efficient. They only cost wood and they only cost very little gold, 25. So go for the unit. It's much more effective than cavalry. Alright. And this is when you see me aging up to the Mythic Age. Once I have secured another gold mine. Because I was busy fighting to secure the one large gold mine. And now with a second large gold mine, I'm going to the Mythic Age, which is also what you should be doing to be efficient, to be precise, and to basically win any games. So here's what happens next. I want to get myself 3 armories to get the Hephaestus to upgrades. You know, you could have played with the new goddess here, the Persephone, if you would like. Underworld Invasion is a very strong god power and probably better than Hephaestus. But if you want to have a very safe game, Hephaestus, Plentyvault is usually the take, the fast armory. You secure a position for late game when you play Hephaestus. While Persephone is all in. But in my opinion, Persephone currently is stronger. I just think Hephaestus can do well against Persephone because of you have the armory upgrades. And whenever you are in an advantageous position, like I've been ahead for the most game, I don't want to throw it away by casting the Underworld Invasion and deleting all of my town centers. So I much prefer if I play the safer way, which is Hephaestus. But you yourself, you can always go for Persephone. Currently it's quite strong. Just always remember to mix in some Siege if you're looking to play with Persephone. The reason I'm building Siege right now is so I force my opponent to cast his Underworld Invasion, because the sooner he casts it, usually the better for me. It's very similar to a Ragnarok. So here is me cleaning up his army. I do have my champion upgrades. I do have all the iron upgrades from Hephaestus. So I obviously have the superior army. It's about time I force him to cast his Underworld Invasion and try my best to defend. So here you see my opponent, all of his town centers are destroyed. He can no longer build the cursed town centers. I mean, he cannot... The main town center, that's where he cast it. Usually you wanna cast it on a side town center, so that's the one being cursed. But yeah, his main TC is cursed pretty much. Better drop a granary. And you see that the last 100 units that have died have come back to fight against me. And I'm gonna need a way to defend that pretty much. So let's see what happens next. You will see yourself throwing a bunch of towers, throwing a bunch of fortresses. Walls are super necessary. And smash that keyboard. Spam out units, as many as you can, because this is crucial. As long as you stay at full population, you should be able to defend the Underworld Invasion push. So keep spamming, have a long queue of units, hoplites, toxodes, you know, generalist units, because you'll be against a big variety of enemy units. But there you see it coming. So you're gonna be taking the first fight in a way that you don't let everything hit you at once. So as you can see, I'm forced taking some fights here, and I know I can go back slowly and take another fight on the cliff right here. So I take a fight, I kill a bunch of his units, which is amazing, but now I'm returning. You're not gonna commit and lose every single unit. You're gonna be going back after you lose 50% of your army. You're going to regroup and repopulate. Go back to full population and you take another fight. And this is exactly how you counter Underworld Invasion, no matter what civ you play. So you see me being patient here. I took a soft fight here, went back, and now that I'm on full population again, I'm taking a fight over this location. Heroes are out. Don't overdo it with peltasts. I think having 20 peltasts was kinda too much. You usually need around 16 to 17 peltasts to counter enemy archers. If they die, keep rebuilding them. But as you can see, I have superior units because I'm playing with Hephaestus. I have all of the upgrades. I have better economy with the Underworld. And Matador can no longer hold his line against me. So that's the best way to counter, for example, the Underworld Invasion God Power, that quite many people think it's broken. I don't think it's broken, but I think it's just powerful. Second curse has been forced. And now it's about time you build your own siege units. You see me training Helepolis here, so I can push buildings and be happy with it. And at the end of the day, you win the game. So this is pretty much how you can play Demeter. Works against, I would say, works against most of the gods. If there's any like serious exception, I will let you know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. And if you like the video, smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.